Hello and welcome to Old Dominion Realty's monthly webinar. I'm Pam Estes with Old Dominion Realty, and again joining me is Renee Whitmore out of our Crossroads office.
Hi, Pam.
Welcome, Renee.
Thank you.
Welcome. Wow, what a busy spring market we've had.
Absolutely, it's been definitely one for the record books.
It certainly has. Seeing escalation clauses, multiple offers. Have you seen some multiple offers, Renee?
Definitely been seeing some multiple offers. A lot of buyers out there who are very anxious to purchase homes, and it's definitely good news for everybody all around.
It certainly is. Today our topic is going to be on building your own home, building a new home maybe that a builder has built. And so joining us is Jonah Pence with Farmers and Merchants Bank. Thanks for being with us, Jonah.
Thanks for having me.
Renee, could you get us started on the two types of new construction dealing with the builder when he gets his construction loan?
Definitely. So the one type of building is when you have a builder who's purchased a lot and he starts building his own floor plan on the property. So the very first, one of the ways that builders like to sell it to you is before it's complete. They like to have that contract in place and know that it's going to be sold. And if you get in time, if you get your contract in on time, a lot of times you can, as a buyer, make selections of your own. So you can select what color, granite you have, or what kind of siding you've got, your flooring, cabinets, countertops, basically the colors and the finishes of the property. There may also be some allowances that they give for light fixtures and that sort of thing. So it's kind of fun to get in the beginning. That's where you and I can help make them, make the selections and figure out what their budget is for certain items.
Absolutely.
The other type, Pam, is where the builder's already purchased or already completely finished building the property. So it's a complete turnkey type home where it's just ready for the buyer to bring their furnishings and just get their loan on the property and purchase it that way.
Absolutely. And we see both of those markets in our market presently, don't we?
We do, and the market had slowed. That new construction market had slowed so much over the past couple of years, and I know over the past 2 years that seems to be something that's happening more and more often.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Now our third option would be when we work with purchasers that want to custom build their home.
Yes. And a lot of times what we find is when we're working with buyers, they've exhausted the market. They've looked at everything that's out there and they've just gotten discouraged with what's currently on the market for sale. So in that sort of situation, a lot of times folks know what neighborhood they want to be in or what school district. They may even have families that own property that they can give them an acre or two of land to build on. And in that case, they get to choose their own floor plan and work with their own builder and do everything from the ground up. That's kind of where Jonah comes into play with a construction loan, because they're going to be purchasing their lot, doing the draws and all that kind of thing.
So Jonah, we would love for you to kind of walk us through that process of financing that new custom home. What are some of the various questions that you see, Renee?
I know one of the first questions that we have are, where do we get started? What kind of documentation do I need? Is it different from just a regular loan?
Right, sure. And we love to get with that bar, day one when they're just thinking about building, or they've already interviewed contractors and selected one and ready to move forward. But much like purchasing a home, we want to see financials. We want to see pay stubs, things of that nature. But don't hesitate to meet with us ahead of time just to talk about the process, how it will go, even if you don't have a builder quite yet, what to expect. Because as you might imagine, the house isn't there yet, so banks typically need a larger cushion on a construction loan versus a purchase. One thing that we like to do is really work with the bar to see if we can't make it work if they don't have a huge down payment. I know that our bank particularly can go up to 85% loan to value on a build, but there are other avenues too. It could be that the bar has equity elsewhere that they could use.
That's great. So they don't necessarily need that 75 or 80%, or I guess 20 to 25% down payment in cash liquid funds to put as a down.
That's correct. And a lot of times what we'll do is go ahead and set them up with a mortgage officer if they're not yet, and they can get the pre-approval. So they'll know after the construction phase and how our construction loans work. We have a interest-only product that they're in, and it's just interest-only payments during that construction phase, and a lot of times it gets refinanced into a mortgage. But we do have the ability to cross-collateralize, and what that means is, let's say that you don't have enough down payment in cash. Could be that you have a lot that you could pledge during that construction period, or it could be that you have equity in your existing home A second deed of trust, for example, on a property as a good resource. And I've even had other bars that had collateral pledge for them during the construction phase. So in cases where it makes sense, we really like to work with a bar to see if we can't get them in a home that meets their dreams.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sounds like you're very flexible, and that's awesome. That's great. Talk to us a little bit about the draw process. I know the public sometimes doesn't understand what the draw process is.
Right. And what we'll do with draws up front is try to get a good idea how many draws will be needed. We'd like to talk to the builder and the bar to see, what the anticipated draw schedule is, so everybody's on the same page. Once the loan is closed, then typically what will happen is the builder will request the draw. We'll get a title update. We're a local bank, so a lot of times we'll do our own inspections, go out to the property, make sure everything's up to par with that. We'll notify the bar once everything looks good, and then we issue the funds directly off that construction loan, which is basically a line of credit.
Sounds good. I know one of the biggest fears for a lot of buyers, builders, lenders is what happens if we go over budget?
Mm-hmm.
What if we make some selections that make us go over budget? What if the builder hits rock or our well costs a lot to drill? What happens in that sort of situation where the budget is maybe tipped a little bit over?
Absolutely, and that happens, quite frequently. So we are aware, and we get back to that cushion where hopefully we have enough cushion to work with. But what we try to do is, as long as everything's moving forward with the loan, up front is where you eliminate a lot of those problems by building in that cushion. As maybe borrowing a little bit more than you're expecting, and as you mentioned, there's going to be upgrades, there's going to be some surprises perhaps along the way, but we are able to go back and increase the construction loan in some cases where we have enough equity, and we've had to do that from time to time, but it's certainly that we wanted that bar to get into their mortgage so they can get that fixed rate most of the time.
Yes, I know many times Renee and I have been asked in the past about, can I be my own contractor, or do I need a contractor to do that? Can you help us with that question?
Sure. We do loans where the bar is acting as their own general contractor. We like to sit down with them up front to kind of look at how things are going, the anticipated expenses that might arise. But we do a lot of those loans. In a case where there's a Class A contractor, we might do 85% loan to value, whereas if they're not a Class A contractor, we might do 80% loan to value. So we like to be smart about it, but at the same time, that's been a real niche for our bank, is being able to do those loans.
Yes. So we've talked about construction loans for the purchaser building the home, but do you also do construction loans for our local contractors?
Sure. Yeah, we work with contractors all the time. Be glad to work with them. Some have just a freestanding line of credit, others job specific. So certainly we can do any type of construction lending, commercial, residential, or with the builder with other deals.
Very good. I know Renee was speaking with you earlier about how busy Jonas,
yes.
That's a good sign for all of us.
It is. It's a great sign for all of us. I know you were saying that you guys have just a ton of new construction stuff going on currently.
It is. It's a great sign. I mean, the springtime particularly is it's a great. We're fortunate to live where we are. I mean, you can really see that with the people that are building and the inquiries that we're getting. It's a great experience. I love working with a family that's never built before, and in most cases it's that family that's new to building. So just taking them from the first step all the way through the process is really enjoyable for me.
And I think it's enjoyable for Renee and I as well,
Yeah.
picking the color choices and guiding you through allowances and things of that nature.
Just kind of helping them with the whole process, and from the contract to the end to close, and then when they have their final refinance close and that sort of thing. It's just
Absolutely.
It's fun because that they've got so much vested in it. Not just financially, but they're emotionally
Absolutely.
vested in that house, and it's fun to be a part of that.
Yes, it is. Jonah, thank you so very much for being with us today. We certainly appreciate your expertise and sharing it with the public.
Sure. Thank
Very
you for
much.
having me. I appreciate it.
And how can we be in touch with you when we have questions?
Yeah, you can reach me at my office, 540-437-3461. I work out of the F&M Crossroads office. You can also reach me through email at jpence@fmbankva.com.
And Renee, if there are some folks out there who would like to look at some new construction, how can they reach you as well?
There's several different ways to reach me. I can be reached via email at renee@odrva.com, on my cell, which text or call 540-271-2518, or just stop by my Crossroads office. I work at the Crossroads branch of Old Dominion Realty.
And I too look forward to working with you on building your new home. You can reach me on my cell at 540-820-1323, or stop by and see me at the South Main office. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.